I need to talk to you anyway about my long-range plans.
I noticed on my calendar that you're starting the tools unit.
Yes, I am. Can we get together and talk about it?
Sure, let's go look at my day book.
The initial contact in any team planning situation is usually an informal one. Earlier in the school year, each teacher met with the principal to discuss long-range plans. The teacher librarian is aware of these plans, and now the two partners set dates to prepare for the upcoming unit. Planning teams vary from school to school and may consist of one or several teachers working with the teacher librarian. Occasionally, a consultant may become a member of the planning team.
Tuesday should be fine. Okay? Okay, great.
In preparation for the planning meeting, the teacher librarian gathers materials and resources for the Grade 1 unit, Tools. Student volunteers or parents may assist in gathering resources. The teacher librarian pulls the previous year's work on the Tools unit. Before meeting with the teacher librarian will review the objectives of the unit and begin to think of ways in which library skills can be incorporated. The teacher prepares for the planning session by previewing the unit and selecting the objectives she feels are important for her students. A cooperative planning guide is used as the teacher librarian and teacher work together to develop the unit. While the format of the planning guide may vary from school to school, it should include planning space for the following key components. Objectives. Those from the unit, in this case tools, and also from the information skills key. Teaching strategies for the unit objectives and for the library skills to be integrated. Learning resources. These would include print, non-print, and human resources. Evaluation. Techniques which will be used to see how well the students met the objectives of the unit, and evaluation of the unit itself.
What key ideas are you planning to use with your kids?
Well, I was thinking that we could use this.
As the objectives are discussed, they are recorded on the planning guide. The key idea in this unit focuses on knowledge objectives.
So then the first idea then is to see how different tools do different things?
Sure. What activity do you think the kids could do to develop the key idea of the similarities and differences of tools?
Well, it says here, down here in the unit, to classify a collection of tools according to how they work. I think I could probably talk to the shop teacher and get a collection of tools, and then the children can sort them into the ways that they work.
Great. That would give the kids a chance to improve their skills in observing, classifying, and sorting.
And when they're finished sorting, I think that they could try a simple cut and paste activity, maybe something like they did last year, only this time we could probably use a chart where they could take the pictures, the ones that we used, and put them in the different categories.
That sounds great. I like the chart idea. It would give them a chance to work cooperatively and share ideas.
As the strategies are devised, the partners keep in mind the affective objectives. In other words, the attitudes they want students to develop. During the session, the teacher librarian will integrate into the unit library skills appropriate to the grade level.
Different occupations use different tools. I thought a group could work in the library.
That sounds good, Arlene. What activity do you think that they could use?
Well, perhaps we could use some books like this that show the occupations right on the cover, and they could match the title of the book with the occupation.
I see, so that they'd be learning a library skill of locating the title of the book.
And also they would be getting the idea about the book from its cover.
That sounds really good.
Carefully selected from the Information Skills Continuum, this unit focuses on the section entitled Parts of a Book.
You want to use this film strip for the activity in your classroom?
Yes, I'd like to use this. And I'd also like to use some of the books that you won't be using for the occupations activity. Is that all right?
Sure. This is a good one you might want to use.
All right, I like that. Could I also have this one, The Busy World?
Sure. Oh, and by the way, Marlene, you're going to check with the industrial arts teacher to see if the children can visit and find out how the large tools are used?
Oh, yes. Okay. Let's leave this right here now, and maybe we can come back and finish off later.
At some point in the planning, the focus must shift to evaluation.
How do you think we can evaluate the activity where the kids sort the tools into boxes?
Well, I thought that we could sort and classify the pictures of the tools on the chart, and that would show that the children understood the concept that different tools do different things.
Good. We can have them evaluate themselves also.
How could we do that?
They could say how well they worked in a group by placing a sad or happy face on the tracking sheet.
Great, I like that. And how will you evaluate the library activity where they're matching the book title and the tool and the occupation?
Well, I'd evaluate it using a comment. Did he need assistance in matching? Could he find and print the title? I'd just make a note on his tracking sheet about how well he did the task.
Besides the ongoing evaluation of the activities and the children's work, the unit as a whole should be evaluated. The partners get together once again at the conclusion of the unit to make a note of which activities went well and which need to be adjusted.
The activity where the group visited the shop went really well. I think the kids learned a lot, but I think I'd like to expand a little more on that next year.
Sure. I found that very few kids had any problem locating the book titles in the library matching activity. Perhaps in our next unit we could go on to locating the author's name.
The team planning process has been carried out over several days, from the initial contact to the planning session, through the activities with ongoing evaluation, to the final and critical evaluation session.
Get the next unit going.
Hi, Marlene. Arlene, are you ready to start planning that grade 7 geography unit?
Sure. Let's go look at the planning book.
Okay.
The teacher librarian's role as partners is carried on with many teachers at the same time. The cycle continues.